This episode is brought to you by Cologuard. Do you know what's really scary? Not screening for colon cancer when you turn 45. The Cologuard test is non-invasive, requires no special prep or time off work, and ships right to your door. In just 3 simple steps, Cologuard takes the scare out of colon cancer screening. If you're 45 or older and at average risk, ask your healthcare provider about the Cologuard test. Cologuard is available by prescription only. Learn more or request a prescription today at Cologuard.com/screen.
Welcome to the Savaged Unfiltered Show, where we say what the hell everyone else is scared to say. Hosted by Michael Gardner. Raw, unapologetic, no filter, no bullshit. Savage.
Hey guys, what's going on? Happy Tuesday. Guys, before we start the show, I do want to basically announce to my listeners that lost a really good friend of mine by the name of Rooster, real name Grayson D. Wyatt. Has been a staple to this show for many, many years, helped me behind the scenes. You might have seen him through the course of season 1 with some cameo appearances and stuff like that. But Rooster, or a lot of people would call him by his real name, Grayson, was a true pioneer of this industry. He paid forward to people always wanting to, learn, understand, sell to the audience. He was a true master of just literally selling to audience members. What I mean by selling is, selling the persona, selling the entertainment behind it. I mean, you see that term a lot, folks, in entertainment, whether it's podcasting or radio or even broadcast, especially with, professional wrestling. They would sell a move. They would sell the suspense behind, oh, shit, like, what if that's real? Well, Rooster was known for that. He was known for selling and delivering content. So Rooster, I'll see you I'll see you when I see you, buddy. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna try to get this show started today, guys, and anyways, old man, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks, man. Take a cup of coffee and salute Rooster to the legend.
That's right. So anyway, guys, we got a show for you today. We're gonna bring in a really good friend of mine by the name of Soslan, that's running for District 5. Now, Tom, he's got a lot going on over there when it comes to delivering, not only for his community, for his district, his state, but obviously making a difference for the country.
Sure.
I think we need more of that in this country. I think that's what's lacking right now in this country, is that key issue. If we can get young people like Soslan in and really make a difference, not just a better difference, but a difference that's missing right now.
Yeah, I agree. We need to get all the old people out. It's time to change the guard. Get fresh blood in there, fresh ideas, people that are dedicated to, to making this a better nation. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I mean by younger people like Sauce, um, you have to be careful on how you say young people because we have young people right now in office. Okay, your AOCs, your Ilhan Omars, your people that have been more or less persuaded by some of the other long-term people that's been in office for a long time. That's manipulated their brains to understand that radicalized mindset.
Yeah,
So
but
we have to be careful. But with Soslan here, I think you're really gonna, be surprised on how he delivers, towards that conservative base.
I think in the conservative base though, we've got people like Sauce is going to fit in. I mean, we've got people on the other side. I listen to some of these younger senators and these younger representatives talking, and I'm going, the media is not going to give them any airtime. The media is not going to show you that because they don't want people to see that they're in control, that they've got a force behind them, that they've got common sense and that kind of stuff. They're not going to do people like Sauce and hey, look how good this guy is coming up. No, because it goes against their agenda. But if you dig and you look, they're there, and we need to get behind them. And
Well, before we bring Sauce in, folks, I have to remind you guys that are living over there in that neck of the woods there, and District 5 there in Wisconsin. Election is right around the corner, and that's why I wanted to bring Sauce on to deliver his message on a higher note than just social media. Obviously on a podcast platform such as this. But like I said, April 7th, Tom, right around the corner, buddy. Right around the corner. And we have to put better people in position. And I believe Sauce is the key issue, not only fighting for his district for the right cause, but folks, a little side note on Sauce. Sauce is a veteran of the U.S. military, Air Force by all means necessary. But not only is he a veteran, but he's a damn good patriot. I mean, I'll let him explain a little bit more about himself. But without further ado, I want to bring him in. This is Mr. Soslan Temanson. Welcome into the program, Sauce. How you doing?
Hey, Sauce. Good to see you again, buddy.
It's good to see you. Thank you guys for allowing me to come on. Sorry, it was funny because right before I came on, I was at the post office, and it's interesting that I like to take some time, and what a perfect day, especially we have very cold weather, and we had a blizzard that came through, and so what a great opportunity just to take a couple days and then kind of network. And I would love to have you show the video I did, a quick ad that I did yesterday on my social media feed. And I'm sure that I think it's important to tell people and stuff. I don't know what your thoughts are on that ad. What do you think?
I thought the ad, the video that you shot there, was very professional. It was, obviously, not in a studio, but it shows more genuine, genuine side of you, a real side of you. And I think that's what people that are running for, public office like that, on a local, state, or federal level has to show that. So, hey, I liked it, Sauce. Nothing wrong with that, buddy.
And the thing is that the reason why I do have to say though, I think it is important that we bring younger people into office, not just because like the age and stuff, but at the same time, like there are younger people that are in office. We look at New York City, we look at what's going on in Illinois. The dangerous part is that the left, the progressives, they're hijacking the real conservative. Like they're actually just hijacking the people that have common sense that are on as Democrats. Like for example, some of the policies that they're running on, like I guess I don't understand this is that the big election that they're having is affordability, and I think one of the big issues I said, well, why is it the fact that we have one of the highest property taxes at 1.53%? and that we're one of the poorest counties in the state. I guess I don't understand that because there's nothing to show. Um, and you want to talk about affordability, but at the same time, it's not the prices, it's not what's going on in Iran, it's not everything that's going on. It's the fact that they're taxing, like they're taxing people, coming up with new taxes, coming up with just taking money away from you through high amount of taxes. And how is that benefiting anyone? That's not benefiting anyone. You want to talk about affordability? Lower the taxes, lower the property tax, get rid of some of the taxes that really don't we don't know where the money goes to. I guess I don't know what your thoughts are. Do you think that's kind of a out of touch reality, or what do you think?
I mean, I think it's not out of touch. I mean, lowering the taxes, but here's my question to that. You people want to lower taxes, but when they lower taxes, something has to centrally balance out within that predicament, Sauce. Like, if you're going to lower the taxes, what are you going to raise? Because that always comes into play. You know what I mean by that?
I do. And I guess where I'm getting at is if we lower the taxes why? Because our county's in a $10.5 million deficit. That's number one. That's and now that, but then we our tax. I mean, our taxes are just way too high. That's a problem, and
Mm.
there's nothing to show. That's the thing. If the taxes are high, but there we have nice roads, number one, we have really nice areas of town. That'd be a different story. That'd be more of a valid. Okay, well, the reason why taxes are high is because we're redoing the roads, we're doing this, this, and this. But then that can be like, then I would position myself to a different talking point.
Mm.
But our taxes are high, but there's nothing to show. So where's the money going to? Where is it going? Where's the transparency in that? It's nowhere to be found. But at the same
Yeah.
time, we're going to keep pushing certain like policy issues. And it's just like, and we have a lot of we have a lot of younger people moving out of the county because it's getting too expensive to live.
Where are they
At the
going? They're
same
going, obviously, are they going out towards like the countryside, or are they?
Yeah, they're moving into the rural areas. Not
Okay.
in this county though. Not in my district. Because they said that it's getting too expensive to live because our
Oh.
taxes are way too high. And they said that there's nothing to show. But if there's nothing to show, we shouldn't be in a $10.5 million budget deficit. That's the whole big picture.
Holy shit.
See, that's the biggest problem right there, Sasha. And I think you nailed it right there. They're always asking for more money. I live in Clark County here in the state of Washington. And, they are constantly asking us for more money, higher taxes. They're going to start an income tax here in the state of Washington. They're raising the gasoline taxes. They're tax. But if you ask them, where's the money going? Oh, no. All of a sudden now you're the son of Satan, because you want to know where the money's going.
Well, you're trying to bring in that transparency. You're trying to bring not just the transparency, but you want to bring in the accountability measure towards that, right?
Yep.
You want to raise our taxes. Okay, can you elaborate where those funds will go to? If they're not going to the bridges, they're not going to the roads, they're not going to the tunnels, they're not going to any major infrastructure level within that area, I demand where my money's going.
And not only that, but then you also have this issue. We're one of the poorest counties in the state of Wisconsin. There's 72 counties in the state of Wisconsin. We're one of the poorest. But the catch-22 of it is we're one of the highest taxed counties in the state as well. And our average salary, the average median salary is $34,549.
Whoa.
To give the picture. So it's not like we have big money in their county. That's number one.
You're
At
right
the same
below
time,
the poverty line, right? What was that number? 39,000?
No, $34,549 a yearly salary like that's the median salary for a person in this county, in my district, more precisely.
Wow.
But at the same time, so you're taking more and more money away by taxing, and you just are it's just very see if we're in Madison or if we're somewhere that's like a high like production area of a county,
Mm,
if we have like some businesses like a water park or some big thing that we're known for, then our salaries would be up higher and people would be more to show for it. But you're in
yeah.
one of the impoverished counties, and the only thing that you have, I mean, we have a federal prison, we have more prisons, we have more of a higher population in prisons
That
than
just
we actually in
shows.
our in district.
That just shows you don't have nothing to show for it. Like you're not like what is that area known for? It's is in obviously industrial is not there.
No,
Textile, nothing
nope.
textile. Oh wow.
So it's not really known for anything. It is so give a little bit of context. There's 960 people in my district.
Huh.
And the sad part is that we are getting more like the district is it's an older population, but it is a very it's a stronghold for the Democrat Party. And so it is a little bit challenging at the same time. Um, and we do have a great we just only have one factory. It is a great factory. They help the community. They run this county pretty much. And they
Well,
run my district as well, which is nothing wrong with that. But but given the context, when you have more prison population than your own district, there's a problem.
yeah,
And
yeah. It just shows you that the crime is. I mean, obviously, it's run by Democrats, which is strange because like you guys are out there, right, out in the country a little bit. So it's kind of
we're right up
strange where you don't see a lot of conservative value in that.
we're well, it's because we get a lot of people from Madison. So we have
Okay.
that's a cat, yeah. That's that's a catch. Um, so we if you go Madison and then we have one county and then we're right there. We're the next county over on top.
Hmm.
So we have Dane County, which is Madison, and then Columbia County, and then we have Marquette County. Marquette County is like pretty much in the vicinity. So when people say we're from Westfield, oh, that's like by Madison, and that's where it is. So that's the other disadvantage we have. But it just shows you that we have it's actually very sad to see because trying to do the logistically thing, you get a lot of people that go in from Madison to up in this area and they run for office and they win and then they have a strong and it is sad because again, I go back to it when you have when you have a regular person like you, a regular average Joe making
Hmm.
$34,549, but you keep raising their taxes, he's going to wonder where that's going.
Yeah.
You know, and the sad, and I'm not against when it comes to public schools, like for example, I'm not against referendums, because I'm thinking that the reason why I'm not against referendums is because I officiate as a full-time
Yeah.
sports official. And when you have referendums that are like here and there, um, and they're like it needs, and then you get to tour the school and you get to go and around the school and you get to see how everything operates. Then you're kind of like, we need to give money to the school and stuff because it's
Yeah.
important. Um, but I am not for raising taxes when again, if they're building an industrial complex, that's number one. If they're trying to
Yeah.
build new businesses in town, if they're trying to like reduce the amount of
There,
crime,
there's none of
then
that
we don't
coming
support.
in. Like I could see
No,
like maybe some proposals for like an Amazon warehouse, anything
none of
that's
that's
gonna
happening.
bring more income, more value to it. Pull this up, Tibbs, if you don't mind. That's a that's a pretty big area, Sas. This is District 5 there in Wisconsin. Okay. Obviously, we took this off of
No,
Ballotpedia.
that's not the wrong district. So if you look
Well,
up,
that's the
so
U.S. House. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not running for the U.S. House. I'm
Well,
running
I
for
know
the county
I'm
board.
look yeah, you're running for the county board, but I'm looking at the majority of it though. That's a large area, Soslan.
No, that's in the wrong area. That's not the.
What are you
I'll send it
pulling?
to you. I want to make
Pull
a.
another one up, Tips. Jesus. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to make that correction right away, and I'm going to send it to you right now as we're speaking. So this county is, let me show you. I want to make sure that it's correctly. I don't want to mislead people, like as a good candidate. Right here, and I just sent it to you. So it is, if you look at it, it said it's not. But either way,
Ugh.
when you have 960 people
Okay.
and you have just people like the roads aren't good and there's nothing to show for it. Again, where's the transparency? And another thing is when you also have if you're trying to improve if you're trying to improve, why don't you come up with proposals instead of worrying about the water
Mm.
and making sure and now that like the water levels, like why are we worried about the water levels? How's that gonna put money in my pocket? I
Okay.
guess I don't understand. Like the water levels, like are they high? Well, it comes within season. Of course, water levels are going to fluctuate, but that's the thing that our county board is worried about is water levels and making sure that the fish aren't harmed. Certain species of fish aren't harmed.
Mm.
The
Gotcha.
things,
So
the things, the things people worry about when they get on these panels and that they have nothing, no effect on the normal person living, living day by day, Monday through Friday. They just have no effect. Like who cares about the water levels?
Mm.
And they want to throw money at all these projects and that, and it's like, what are you doing?
I think he has the right one. Do you have the right one? Jesus, I hope so. Jesus, I think this is what
listen,
you're referring to. So this is District 1, District 2, District 3,
no, no,
District.
no. I sent it to you.
That's
I
not the
sent
right
it to you.
one? How many freaking
No,
maps do you have?
I sent it to you over Facebook, a Facebook
Okay,
message.
okay. You're
I
killing me
wanted
today.
no, no, no. I
Anyway.
sent it to you over Facebook message. But the thing is that it's kind of a complex thing. Um, but another thing I also noticed, and going back to what you said with the young people, okay,
Mm.
I guess I don't understand is because people are like, oh, well, we don't have enough time. That's like the big catch I'm getting at. It's like, well, we don't have enough time, or like, oh, well, it takes too much of our time, or it takes it just how can we I don't know. I want people to like me I want everyone to like me per se. Well, I hate
You
to say
gotta
it,
be
but
careful with that, Soslan, if I may.
go for it.
I'm not big on personality. Right there. Everybody wants to be loved in politics. They want to have
But that's not how
popularity.
that goes.
That is great. Not but in the long term, because you got to learn how to mix the popularity and the policy, and you got to have that balance effect. You
Yeah.
know,
And
I understand you want to be loved in politics, but if your policies match that popularity, you'll be a great candidate without a doubt.
mhm. And the thing is that you're never gonna like there's always gonna be people that disagree with you.
Hmm.
And I think that, for example, I also think that the reason why I think younger people should be running as a conservative is because you look at the other side. The other
Okay.
side, they're bringing in young candidates, but the young candidates that they're bringing in are George Soros funded,
Yeah.
number one.
I see
Number two,
that.
they're more radicalized. That's number two. And number three, they come up with policies that are like affordability. Well, how like Mandani, like affordability. So then he goes out with taxing, like gives a 9% increase on property tax, and
Yeah.
then goes and completely goes with these industrial, like these community stores, government run stores. And we know how they don't operate. I just don't know how people cannot read history and realize, okay, when somebody says free, 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 but like we want to freeze rent, isn't that
Mm.
what isn't that what like Joseph Stalin did, Vladimir Putin did, Zelensky did, like free, free, free? And look where they're looking at what's happening at that. I guess as an immigrant standpoint, I cannot see the other side and what issues they're coming at. It's like, but I guess this shows you, and now go back to what I was saying, is where people are disconnected. They're too stuck on Reddit. They're too stuck on listening to Candace Owens or Tucker Carlson, where they only get like a bubble. And when you get inside that bubble, you can't think for yourself. You have to like people do the thinking for you.
Got you.
Like for example,
Yeah.
if they tell you go jump, you'll jump because who knows.
Well,
And I'm
what's going
thinking
on
that's
with the redistricting? I noticed some redistricting in Wisconsin.
yeah,
Is that going to
yep.
play a big
That is playing a
damper?
big role actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that
Talk
puts
about
me out of
the big districting before, because we're going to take a break here in a little bit. But I want to hear about this
so
redistricting because it's gonna
yep,
put a big damper on the elections. I know it's gonna.
it is. So the sad part is that we should have probably known. People like I'm sure a lot of people are really that live in Wisconsin know that whoever like Milwaukee and Madison are pretty much make up the election. And
Yeah.
that's where you get a super majority. In the Supreme Court, that's where you get the whole thing. But it's interesting because people in that voted in the last Supreme Court that I was very part of, and I was with Charlie Kirk, and he and I was able to get Turning Point and to get Elon Musk working with a Turning Point to get them into Wisconsin. When the Supreme
Oh
Court
wow,
justice said that, there were
that's some good
articles that were
stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it was, um, but there were articles that were written and stuff. But then she's like, "Well, I don't want to deal with anything with redistricting." People are like, "Oh, okay. Well, you're not going to deal with anything with redistricting. Well, then we'll vote for you." And what happened? Just like the Supreme Court. What does she do? First thing that she goes after is the maps to redraw the maps to put another district by Madison and another district by Milwaukee, and so that
Jeez.
adds two Democrat congressmen into Wisconsin that clearly shouldn't be there. No offense,
Yeah.
because it's the whole thing is, and then you want to talk about gerrymandering like Georgia does it, but then when Georgia does it, it's like, don't you dare, that's going above
Yeah,
yeah,
we got this whole you know who that I'm talking about, Rick Jackson.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's
But when
in my personal opinion, a fake conservative. He's not for the
but
state
when
of Georgia. Come on
no,
now.
but when Wisconsin does it and Illinois does
Yeah.
redistricting, it's all hush hush. Then it's nothing. And at the same time, it's pushing conservatives out of the state and it's pushing conservatives out of like even opportunity contention. And I just don't know why they're so bent on power. Like they're not our state hasn't improved, number one. Number two, I feel like we are worse off now because we are like constrained by opportunity and people can't achieve their like dreams because they're either too busy paying taxes or they're too busy just um like working like trying to survive, but they can't because they're limited, you
Mm.
know? And the thing is that like with the Planned Parenthood stuff, we now like there was like this bill that Governor Evers signed to fund like the Planned Parenthood for the next 400 years. That was in the news a couple of months
Oh
ago, and
my
he said he
God.
didn't know that. Yeah, he didn't know it said 400 years, but he's the one that changed his
Oh,
like
I
he's the one
know.
that changed it.
I
Yeah,
know
you heard about
the
that.
yeah, well, I heard about that, but they're also trying to extend the liberals there in Wisconsin, trying to extend this Supreme Court race winning
Yeah,
streak. That's
and they're
that's
going to, and they're
crazy.
going
I know, I know. ABC
sadly.
just put or not ABC, NBC just put out a piece earlier today or something like that with this. Oh, they're happy. They're gun ho about this. This is great, great stuff.
What are your thoughts, by the way, for the other guy? I feel like I've been talking too much. Do you think
No,
I'm like
you're
out of
good,
touch with? No, what's his name? I'm sorry.
Tom, the
I've
old
been so
man.
Tom. Tom, what are your thoughts on everything
Tom,
that's
Tom,
like?
Tom is speechless. He's allowing you to speak.
I feel bad.
I'm letting you. I'm not running for office. I'm not trying to sway voters and all that. That's why I'm just sitting here giving you the floor, Saucy. I mean, I'm, you know, I'm just giving you the floor, man. I want you to get your message out there so you can get some voters in that. But as far as taxing and all that, I live in one of the fuckest states in the nation right here, state of Washington. And they're constantly trying to do stuff. And our Supreme Court here sucks. Our government sucks. We are a communist country in our state.
Mhm.
We are a communist country. And it all goes. You're talking about accountability in that. They just tried to run through this big money thing for the schools. We never vote yes on anything here because it's a scam. It's a scam. So we shut this thing down and they go, oh, we're going to have to lay off hundreds of teachers now and sell property. Oh, we can't be able to do it. And it doesn't pass. And they go, oh, look, we got money over here. Yeah, you
Yeah.
bastards. You do
But
have
Tom,
money.
this is what I was talking with Sas here about about what the liberals are planning to do in the state of Wisconsin. That's going to put out a a huge downreach with conservatives if there's anything left of conservatives in Wisconsin. I mean, what's your percentage right now of conservatives in the state of Wisconsin right now, Sauce? Like,
It's a lot. So, like, for the whole statewide,
yeah.
it's not like it was in 2024. I want to tell you that. It definitely dropped because a lot of people are leaving the state for
Well,
Texas, for
they're going
Florida,
Texas,
Georgia,
Florida.
Tennessee.
Exactly.
And I don't know, and I guess I don't understand how people can't, like, people that are in office, I don't know how they can't realize that or get that through their, like, small thought process and their, like, mindset. Because when you have people leaving the state and not coming back, I mean, it's your issues. They're doing that for a reason because they can't afford it. That's number one. Number two, they're being silenced. And I guess I don't, and that's why this could be an uphill battle.
That's gonna
And
be
I'm
that's gonna be a battle right there, Sauce. You know, with this April 7th, I know you're running there, but again, this is gonna put a big damper between the Democratic back Chris Taylor and the Republican
Yeah,
back Marley, or what is that? Marla, what's her name?
Maria Lazar.
Maria? Maria
Maria
Lazar.
Lazar.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she's there's got some kind of retired conservative too, as well, too, right? Isn't there
I
a
hope not.
conservative retiring? It said the seat is being held by retiring conservative Justice Rebecca Bradley.
Yeah, she's retired. Well, the thing is that
Well, if she
I don't know.
retires, then it's going to go to the Democratic back Democrat that's running for
Yeah,
that seat. And guess what's going to happen? It's going to put a big damper on your race, because
yeah,
the
and
majority
it's
of people voting for conservatives are not. They're going to vote for Democrats because it's backed by big money. And that's something that you guys in Wisconsin, conservatives, have to fight against. Big money. Big money is going to
yeah,
put a big damper on your race. It is.
You
and
know,
it's
I want
because
to.
of Pritzker from Illinois.
Mm.
Pritzker from Illinois, Gavin Newsom, and then you also have Satan himself, aka George Alex Soros, and then you have, like, of course, the Kamala Harris. You have heard that's the big money from California coming into Wisconsin for the Supreme Court race. And what do you
Mm.
have? And then another thing is I'm noticing is a lot. I don't know why conservatives can't do this, but, like, they're saying, well, she doesn't. The polls don't look in her favorability, so we're not going out and vote anyway.
Well, they're voting for abortions and non-citizen voters. That's what
Yeah,
seems to be on the ballot everywhere, not just Wisconsin. I mean, we're battling it right now in the state of Georgia. I'm sure Tom over there in the state of Washington. I mean, this is
They
all over
are.
the place.
They
All
are.
over the place.
You know, the one thing I want to bring up, I want to mention is that, okay, so we're talking about people fleeing the state. It's happening here in Washington too. People are leaving. They're leaving the state. And the one thing that I heard somebody say, and I don't understand this because it's correct, is like, okay, people are leaving the state because of the taxes and because of the, the affordability and everything. But it's not just conservatives. There are people that claim to be liberal, that claim to be Democrat, are leaving because they can't afford it either. So here's my question. Why are they forcing everybody out of the state? What is the end game? What is the end game with this government to force these people? Because you don't have anybody coming in. You don't have anybody going into California or Washington.
What's the
Oregon.
benefits? What's the benefits? I want to touch on that real quick, right before we, obviously come after a break, guys. But I want to.
What's the end game?
Yeah, I wanna direct your attention, guys. This Friday, we are going to be recording with an individual out of Canada. That's right, guys. By the name of Crash. It's going to be. What are you talking about? That's going to be a good one, guys. This Friday, joining. Actually, this Saturday. Why do I keep on saying Friday? I have my day. I have my days mixed up. You're giving me wrong graphics. This is turning out to be really bad on you, Tibbs. But anyway, guys, join us this Saturday. It's all about fun, but it's also delivering truth too. At least we try to. But this Saturday, guys, join us this Saturday as we are going to be bringing on Crash from the Crash and Burn
Friday.
podcast.
We're bringing her on Friday.
We're bringing her on Friday, but she's airing on Saturday. God, you're screwing me up now. Good grief, man. Anyway, guys.
By the way, we are the betting rooms have opened to see place your bet if you think she's actually going to show up or not.
Yes. We'll do a poll. Actually, old man, go on social right now and do the poll. We're gonna do the poll. Will she show up? Yes, or will she not show up? No. Give us a poll. Actually, do that right after the show, Tom. Do that poll for us, please. Love it. But yeah, guys, join us this Saturday. This Saturday, not Friday, because she won't be on Friday. Join us this Saturday on Spotify or anywhere you hear a podcast. Guys, we'll be right back after these short words. Don't go anywhere.
This April, Stomping Grounds Tour hits Po Duty live with Michael Gardner from the Savaged Unfiltered Show. Tickets on sale right now at events.poduty.com.
Hello, everyone. My name is Soslan Temanson, and I am running as a write-in candidate for Marquette County Board District 5 in Westfield, Wisconsin. I want to say thank you so much for the opportunity I have had to interact with you guys these past couple weeks and going to have in the next coming weeks leading up to the election on April 7th. It has been great listening to what you guys have to say, an opportunity for me to hear what you have to say to improve this county, to improve Westfield, Wisconsin, this district that we all live in. And again, I'm asking on April 7th for you as a support to write my name in clearly on the Marquette County Board Supervisor, Soslan Temanson, in the ballot and fill in the circle. I hope you have an awesome day and stay safe. And I look forward to interacting.
Good stuff. One of those episodes, Tibbs. I do apologize, Sauce. Tibbs is all over the place. We didn't do this intentionally, but he's one of those days. One of those days.
It's the crash curse.
I'm telling you, she's on. 4 days away. She's on to us already. But anyway, no. Sauce, no, seriously, man. You got a battle ahead of you in the coming of weeks leading up to April 7th. And what's going on with that? I know Tom wanted to talk a little bit about, voters and others leaving, Democratic run areas, especially other areas, not just Wisconsin, but New York. We're getting a whole flock of them coming down to Florida and Georgia and Tennessee. But before we go into that, what's going on with your race? So some of the people here at Savaged Unfiltered, the audience, can understand this a little bit more.
So the good thing is that I sent out the first round of postcards on April 28th that week to kind of more of an introduction, say, hey, this is who I am, and this is what I'm running for. Today, after the show, I will be sending out the second round of postcards that is going to say lower property tax, fix our roads, and listen to the people. And then on the back is going to have 4 easy ways on how to write in your candidate. I'm going to be sending that out in the post office. During the past week, the past couple weeks, I have been putting signs out for people, and I'm sure this is behind the scenes.
Yes.
These are the yard signs that are going to be a continuation going out. The sad part is that majority of the yard signs are out, like they're gone because of the blizzard.
I thought you got maniac people ripping them off. That's actually illegal, folks. Don't do that. That's actually illegal.
It is actually illegal.
States. Yes.
And so the signs, these are the signs that are going to be sent out. They're going to be sent out probably this weekend. I do have to say, though, the blizzard did put this kind of setback that this kind of came at the wrong time because but we can't control Mother Nature. So either way, in the meantime, I'm going to be door knocking and I'm going to have door hangers, as you can see on in your picture. Those are the tiny door hangers I'm going to have. I have about 300 and I have 200 more to go. And so it's going to be like to kind of interact with the voters or either drop them off. And hopefully I can get this out before the early voting starts. And I want to tell you, we have early voting in the state of Wisconsin and we have absentee ballots, that I'm not really for because it puts me at a disadvantage. I don't know why they can't just get voting all on one day. That's the thing I don't understand.
Are you big on the mail-in ballots, Soslan? Do you
Well,
support that at all or no?
I'm indifferent on it. I
Okay.
think that if you're in the military, if you're actively overseas and you can't get to like your board and stuff, I mean, I do believe that like you should be getting a mail ballot. But I also do believe though, as a young, capable young person that can hop in my car and go to a store to vote, that then I should be able to go to a store and get food. Then I
Oh,
should go
sure.
to the voting poll for it takes about 2 minutes to bring my ID and to say, hey, I like to vote.
Yeah,
I
what's so
don't
hard about showing your ID in a voting
I guess
place? I
I don't
mean,
I guess I don't understand that. I have to show an ID if I want to purchase a firearm. I have to show an ID if I want to buy whipped cream in our county. Like you have to show ID to buy whipped cream in a
what?
can
Well, yeah, because
because
of
the gases and
the
because of all.
roaring 60s and 70s, Tom will tell you, right, with the whippets,
Yeah,
right, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
but I and the thing is that you have to show an ID for everything, but when it comes to voting, you don't have to show an ID. I just don't I can't
It's
understand.
it's hard. They can't comprehend that, right? We have to
Because
show
you
IDs everywhere,
because
airports, all that, yeah.
because you can't cheat unless you do mail-in balloting and you don't have ID. That's the only reason. I've been saying this for decades because here in the state of Washington, that's all we have is mail-in ballots. And that's why we have never had our government's never been conservative or Republican since they started it because there's
Mhm.
if you're going to cheat, you do exactly like that. And anybody that says that's wrong, they're crazy. Trump is right. He says the only reason you don't want mail voter ID is because you cheat. And that is so true. And if anybody says that's not true, they're lying. They don't know what they're talking
Yeah, like what's going on with Wisconsin? I mean, I see some struggling victories coming out of that state. I mean, mainly conservative Republicans. I mean, what was the last time a conservative Republican won anything
Like a
public?
majority, it was um I know it was Ron Johnson won his reelection back in 2022, I believe. So
Yeah,
he's
it's
up.
been a
He might be up,
while.
but I know that. But the sad part is that I know we're probably that's going to switch in 2028 because we've got so much liberals that moved up from Illinois and from Minnesota. It's going to be hard for him to get. It's going to be hard for him to win, or
Mm.
it's going to be hard for a conservative to win. And it's also going to be hard. It's going to be also hard for a conservative to win a congressional seat at this point because they've gerrymandered so many times in our state that Supreme Court has gerrymandered to the point that gives a conservative a disadvantage because it touches Madison or it touches like some metropolitan area and it puts a conservative at a disadvantage.
Well, the trend seems to be triggering some infighting with your Republicans there and conservatives, and they're taking aim at Brian Schimming, which is the chairman of the state party. Why
Yeah,
are they doing that? Why are they
because
taking aim at that person?
because
Shouldn't
he's
they be
weak.
trying to? Well, he's weak,
It's
but I
no,
mean,
he's because the thing is that I wouldn't say he doesn't really have a strong backbone because he's more like let me try to fit in with the cool kids
hmm.
and let me endorse like weak candidates and then you wonder why we lose every single race. Because if you don't endorse a strong candidate that doesn't know the issues, you're going to get really bad results. And if you don't, and for example, with Maria Lazar, she might have had the signatures, but she might have had it. But realistically, you don't see ads in her on TV, number one. You
No.
don't see you don't see very many billboards, unlike you did with Brad Schimmel. It's just the fact that Maria Lazar is a weak candidate, but Brian Schimming doesn't. He's more worried about pleasing people in Madison and Milwaukee, and that's why we
So
are
he's
on
a
a losing
puppet.
trajectory.
He's a
He
puppet. He
is.
wants to appease, obviously, the majority of the base there, because hey, if it's good for you, it's good for me. That's how it normally works in politics. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, can we say this, Sas, before we kind of close out with you? And I want to get some other things here with Tom mentioning about the people leaving and stuff, and we'll go into a little bit more before we, run out of time. But can we see, obviously, either a conservative Republican or just a normal modern day Republican leading the state of Wisconsin within the dawn of this century? I mean, I know that's saying a lot and it's asking for a lot, but when the hell was the last time you had a Republican governor of Wisconsin? When the hell was the last time you had a Republican anything of Wisconsin?
Probably before I was born.
Before I was born, probably. Before Tom, do you remember any type of Republican leading that state in your 70-something years of your life so far?
No.
I mean, what the hell do they need to do to improve that state, to more or less bring that red wave, like they say?
What they need to do is find a warehouse that has all these boxes and crates of voting ballots that are already filled out and burn it to the ground. That's the stuff that's sitting there. I mean, this vote. I don't want to take away from Sauces.
Do you know there was a poll, Sauce? I don't know if you read this poll, but there was a poll from Marquette. My pronunciation sucks. The University Law School, right? Your county that you're running for there in District
Marquette
5.
University, Marquette poll.
Yeah. They pulled a poll last month of some 62% of likely Wisconsin voters saying that they were undecided. They were undecided. I'm just looking at that poll right now. I'm looking through like what's going on here in the state of Wisconsin. 62%. I wasn't aware of that. That they're undecided. That means they can. That conservative or that Republican candidate seems well on policy. That's bad. That's high percentage.
Well, when you have 62% people that are undecided, that just shows you the squishiness. Like, maybe today I'm feeling it. Maybe I'll vote for this candidate. Or, that person hurt my feelings, so I'm not going to vote for them. I'll vote for the other person.
Nobody votes on policies. They vote
on emotions. Like,
personalities.
This person's mean. Yeah, this person's mean. Or this person's not going to offer free stuff, and I want free. I don't want to work for it anymore.
Tell us about that, Sas. We got some time here before we depart with you. Tell us about, obviously you're running on transparency, you're running on accountability, but how do you plan on fixing some of that crime in your area? Because you speak on that heavily in the beginning of the show. How do you plan? Do you plan on working with your local municipalities of police and others?
Absolutely. And I know that, but first of all, I think it's important that we have more of I wouldn't say oversight, but kind of, I think that we can't bend like the county. I think the county tied the hands of the sheriff's departments and the police departments to the point where they can't really do their job. They can't execute their job fully. And so I think we need to get more lenient, and we need to allow them to do their job. That's the thing. Instead of them like doing like I don't know, pulling someone over for going speeding, but at the same time, you're not gonna worry about like the human trafficking that's going on, the drugs that are being trafficked across, the overdoses that we're having in our county. You're not going to worry about that, but you're going to pull someone over for just speeding. Now, I understand that's important, but at the same time, I'm more worried about the drugs that are coming into this county and being trafficked. I'm more worried about that than pulling someone over for going 5 over.
Nah, 5 miles over is nothing. I mean, they could have been going down a freaking hill.
Let me tell you what just happened in the state of Washington. This is going to blow your mind. Our county sheriffs are voted on by the people. We vote for them. That's how they get in office. The state of Washington in the Senate just passed a bill saying that the state government at any time can go in there and remove those sheriffs if they don't like what they're doing. Screw the voters. Screw the voters. We don't care. You'll either tote the line to what the state government wants, what the governor wants, or you're not sheriff anymore.
That's,
who cares what the people said?
That sounds like communism or socialism to me.
Well, the thing is that you can't restrict you can't, if you, like, for example, if you tie a person's hand behind their back, they're limited on what they can do.
Okay.
But they're like, oh, well, we got to do this. This is like, we have a problem. Like, we have such a huge problem. Well, if we have such a huge problem, then if you have such a big problem, like, for example, we had a fire department we had two fire departments, and they defunded the other fire department. They got rid of the fire department, actually, and sold all their equipment and stuff. But then the voters are like, well, we need to, like, the insurance went up. They increased everybody's insurance, and the response time is a lot longer. And they're all mad about that. But, like, don't be mad about it, because you're the one that elected the representative in. You're the one that elected that person, and you're mad. Now, when they she literally ran on this. Vote for me because I want to get rid of the fire department. What more?
Shit, man. It sounded great on the graphic. The graphic more or less sold the damn election. That's what it sounded like.
Vote for me because I want to get rid of the fire department. I'm like, no, vote for the other candidate. No, why would anyone run on that? And that's how brazen these people have become. And what does she do? And what does she do? The first thing that she does, went after the fire department, got rid of it.
That's like the advertisement that President Trump put out, like, what was it, back in 2020 or something, when Biden had this crazy idea with trying to down surface the emergency call-in lines, right? Where we're sorry, we're not here to take your call right now, but if you leave a message, we will have a caseworker respond to you as soon as possible. That's what that sounds like. That's insanity.
Those people win those elections because of the cheating. Nobody in their right mind would vote for someone to say they're going to do away with the fire department. Nobody in their right mind. How do they win? Because the voter fraud. I'm telling you, it's all the way down to that. They don't care what they vote. They're backed by Soros's money, and they don't care. There's boxes and boxes of ballots that were already made for that woman sitting there just waiting for election day.
No one decides to run. No one does. No one decides. And then, I want to also tell a big thing. The reason why so many of these people at the county level get in for so long is because no one decides to challenge them. No one decides to run against them. And they just stay there, and then they run unopposed for.
Well, you got people like you're running against that, but that's not enough. I'm sorry to say that, Sos, but that's not enough. I mean, you have to have other people in your caliber, even on the local level, state level, possibly federal level up in Washington. Right, that needs to show that more. Let's push that. What's going on with the SAVE Act in the state of Wisconsin? Are you guys pushing that at all?
No, we're not.
Why not? The SAVE Act is for the accountability of fair and honest open elections, is it not? I mean, they don't want a fair and honest election.
They're not pushing it here in the state of Washington.
Even a small hold on, Tom. Even a small percentage of conservatives, they don't want that.
No, because it's a losing issue. It's a losing issue because remember a lot of the media in Marquette County, in the district that I live in, is all Soros owned. So once you spread the truth, you come off as you're lying, and people don't believe you.
You don't have any safeguard whatsoever in your state.
No.
Safeguard what I'm talking about. I think you know what I'm talking about, right? What the eligibility of voting, right? Your driver's license, your voter card, anything that you need to present to the polling precinct there where you're at. They don't. That's crazy. That's correct. You
But
you
that's
need to challenge these conservatives, these supposed conservatives. In my personal opinion, I would say, damn it, you're a conservative and you don't support the SAVE Act. You're not a conservative then. What the hell are you running on then? Because I'm sorry to say, Sauce, the majority of the country that are conservatives are voting for the American SAVE Act. They want it. The majority of conservatives, like the 80%, the 20% is where they fall in your state with that bullshit,
yeah.
saying, oh, we don't believe in that. That's crazy. You don't believe in it? You're not a conservative.
I think it's because in some of these areas, and I believe this in Washington and probably where Saucy's at, is because these so-called conservatives aren't conservatives. They're only saying they're conservatives so they can win elections. They're not conservatives. When was the last time a conservative got elected and actually went in on a county, state, or federal level and did what they said they were going to do? They don't.
Not a single one.
Look at Representative Chip there, right, from Texas. He's pushing it like no tomorrow. He's one of the founders, if you want to call him one of that more or less brought it more mainstream with President Trump.
But look what the Texas Republican Party did, though. They primaried him out. That's a problem.
Yeah, they primaried him out.
See, that's a problem. They primaried a lot of these people out. And so, because
frankly, it doesn't matter, Sauce. Even if they primaried him out, it doesn't matter. It's still mainstream now. You have majority of conservatives that are taking the fight from him, and they're pushing it, and that's what needs to be done.
But this is a problem that I have with the old Mitch McConnell, and the old Paul Ryan, and the old oligarchy of a party. Like, I can say that the old oligarchy of the party is that, like, this is a big infighting that is going on, and say, well, we don't want to ruffle the feathers. We got to get along with our brothers and sisters on the other side. Well, but at the same time, they can't see the other side, that they hate their guts. They can't see that. Like, what pills are you taking? And this is a problem this is something that it is stemming. If you run on the old establishment party line and you don't ruffle the feathers and you get along with everyone, I say this is the best way to do it. If you don't ruffle anyone's feathers, don't vote for that person. If you don't challenge them, don't vote for that person, because they're just gonna sit on their hands and be like, oh, okay, well, okay, I don't want to hurt my pocketbook per se.
Well, then they're part of the establishment.
See, and that's
challenge their base, Sauce. You have that right now. Well, everybody really has that right as a citizen, whether you're running for a position or not. You still have that right as an American citizen to challenge their policy, challenge their base, challenge their messages, challenge what the hell they mean, because you're not going to understand. And folks, please, that are listening in, okay, here's where the serious talk comes in. You cannot understand a candidate unless you challenge who they are, what they're running on. Don't be afraid of that. Even if you support them or you're undecided, right? With those 62% undecided voters, here's something I could try to wake you guys up there in Wisconsin, okay? I know plenty has listened to me there in the state. Challenge it. Even if you support, okay, with all due respect to you, Soslan, even if you support Soslan, challenge Soslan. Because here's where you'll understand the candidate more. If they are going to be sensitive, triggered, or they're going to get emotional with you, well, then you just figured them out.
Yep.
Then you can make your choice right there.
And that's called accountability.
Exactly.
And I want people, and the thing is, here's my promise to you and my voters, that if I get elected on April 7th, if I do, I want you to hold me accountable. I want you to say, Soslan, why aren't you doing this, this, and this? Because it allows me to say, why did I get elected in the first place? Why aren't the roads getting fixed? Maybe it's on me. And maybe it's that so-called squishing it. Maybe it's like, oh, like too good to be true. No, then I want you to, I want you to hold me accountable. Because by you holding me accountable, it's going to force, well, I'm all about accountability in the first place, because through accountability, work can get done. Through accountability, you are then held for your actions, and that you have to get something done. You have to show something. So when the election cycle comes up, and like in the next 2 years, you can say, what did you do? Like that's what I want to know. Did you do anything
Mhm.
while you're on the county board? Did you do anything while you're in the state senate? Did you do anything while you're assemblyman besides collected your paycheck and just was mute on certain issues? Is that the only thing that you did? No, I want somebody else that will challenge the status quo.
Mm. And I like how you put that on the bottom. Paid by Soslan, not by third party. That shows
Yep.
that shows really, really a genuine side to you, Sos. That you're not bought by fake little lobbyists that are just making you look good. You're actually doing this all on your own, and we need more of that because you're going to get
Yeah.
accurate policy. You're going to get accurate measures. You're going to get accurate messaging. You're going to get accurate everything from what you're doing. So a voice for the people, yeah, that's definitely a check for Soslan here, guys.
Yeah.
Supporting his community, another check. Okay, and committed to transparency and accountability, check.
Yep.
But you have 3 solid policies right on his graphic here, on his postcard that's getting mailed out to a lot of people, I'm told, that you put all those postcards out. Okay? Look at his policies. Why not, guys? Here's something I want to take out from President Trump, okay? If President Trump doesn't mind. What the hell do you have to lose, folks, by voting for Sos? What the hell do you have to lose? Because this could be the mark on changing the outcome for that area. Literally. Sos, you could be literally the man to change it all for future elections. That's a really good thing to have on your conscience, you know?
The thing is that it's an uphill battle. It is I
It
know it
is.
gets and it's
Sauce, with
hard.
all due respect, you're an outsider. Yes, you have little to no political experience, but guess what? You don't need political experience to understand policy and common
Yeah.
sense, right? You're taught that when you're 5, 6 years old, common sense.
Exactly.
And maybe it's good. And if you have political experience, I might be looking at, okay, why do you have so much political experience? Isn't that kind of a red flag?
Well, when you talk about
Just
political
saying.
experience, you have media political experience. You've been on multiple of different types of, shows
I'm
and
ta-
stuff like
I'm
that.
ta-
That's the
but
political experience I'm talking about. You have political common sense,
yeah,
you know.
but I'm talking
Look,
about political experience. If you've been in there for decades and years and years and years,
yeah.
and then yeah, that's the part that I have. Like that's the thing I have a problem with. Like when it's good to have political experience like what I have and through your show and through what I used to have and what I'm doing right now. That's good to have because then you kind of know the ins and outs and stuff. But if I held an office for like I don't know a decade even or even like 3 terms maybe, that'd be I'd be questioning myself. Like why did I do this in the first place? Because for
Yeah.
example, this is the thing that I'm gonna if I do get elected, either I want to serve 2 terms or 3 terms, and that's it. And I want to give
Well,
to the next. What's that?
that's admirable.
That's the way it
You know,
should
like,
be.
yeah, that's yeah. You only want to go in for a certain period, and then you want to more or less pass the torch to the next person. That's
Exactly.
yeah. There's
Yeah,
nothing
because
wrong
I
with
don't.
that.
No, I don't want to be in there like I don't want to be in there for I don't know how many years, like decades. If I'm in there, that you should be in there for decades. If you're in there for decades, then something's up. Like
Do you see
you're
yourself still helping the community then? If you're not,
after
yeah,
I get out.
after your tenure, yeah, yeah.
Well, if I so this is gonna be good. So if I don't win this time, which is probably I don't want to. I guess I'm not God, so I don't know what's going to happen. Um, but if I hypothetically if I don't win, well, be ready for in the next 2 years. In the 2 years, I will be back. in the 2 years. So I can say that this is my early kickoff to my election bid for 2028. Um,
Good, good.
and but because it's not like this is not just like, oh God, like if you try, like you lose the first time, you try again. If you're
Yeah.
committed to the cause, if you're committed to change,
It
the
sounds
best
like
way
you're
is you try
serious. Yeah.
again. I am.
You're
But of
serious.
course,
You're not one of these guys where it sounds great. Yeah, I can have somebody write up a nice little graphic for me, put myself out there, and then that's if I don't get it, I don't get it. Yeah, but it was the experience. It's the experience. Don't get me wrong, but you have
yeah.
future plans. You just mentioned the 2028 election, so I mean, I'd love to see you in that aspect if this doesn't go well for you, and to push for that. Um,
Well, of course, I'm
Maybe a
not thinking
state
that way.
position or even a federal position. I could see you in a federal
Well,
position. I mean, I'm telling you right now, Sauce, you have the correct channels of delivering. Maybe just get a little bit more fierce with your words. Challenge. Don't be afraid to challenge these people. Don't be afraid to butt heads because they're butting heads with you. Don't get me wrong, they are. And you got to
well,
butt the
I know
head
that.
back. You know.
I know that. But the thing is that, but I don't have that kind of mindset right now. I have a mindset of today marks 3 weeks out. We have
Mm.
next week. Yeah, we are 3 weeks out as of today
A
to
lot of
get
campaigning. Yeah.
to a lot of campaign. Hence why I've not been on your show very much.
Yeah.
Um, because I kicked this campaign off on February 10th, by coming up with all these designs. It's interesting. A lot of people don't realize like they come up with flyers, they come up with like postal cards. You'd be like, wow, where did this come up? Well, it came with a lot of work because you have to come up with the color configuration, and you have to like meet logistically. You have to meet with a printing company. You then have to like sit down and be like, okay, if I propose this, how much is this going to cost, and where can I get the money to? Because you want to have a sustainable campaign. Because at the end of the
Absolutely.
day, if you don't have, I hate to say, if you don't have money, then you're limited on what you can do. You
Exactly,
know,
exactly. Well, I
um,
mean, you could take advantage of AI stuff, but that's you need the experience with that to dabble with that. That's an industry on its own. But
but so it's been a very cool. And so then on February 13th, I kicked off my campaign on February 13th, and then the following week, I was able to I on February 13th or the following week, I then got interacted, tried to get more of my yard signs to see what they could be like and to see how many signs we need, compared to like kind of get more of a logistical layout of my district and see how many voters I do need to switch.
mm,
Um, because out of 960 people that live in my district, 425 people voted in the last election.
again,
425
I
voters.
have to say this before we leave with you. I keep on hearing that doesn't sound realistic. You said nine. You're saying 900 people, not 900,000, right? Only 900 people.
960 people live in my district. 425 people voted in the last spring election.
Do you hear this, Tom? 900 people. It doesn't sound realistic. I'm thinking like maybe 900,000 people, but I mean, 900 people, that's a village. It's just like a small
It is a bit.
village.
But 425 voted. And now because of like the election, because like the Supreme Court race and because like the low turnout, that's having me to push even more to say, hey, get out and write my name in.
What
Write
was the
in.
other 500? Did they give you that analysis there? I mean, because
The other
your
five
news is
the,
different from mine, so
The other so the other 500 are people that are like either aren't registered to vote or like are not like are kind of like your every 4 year voters.
okay. Yeah, yeah. The
That's
sleeping
also
giants, they call them. Yeah, they vote when it matters. Yeah, yeah.
well, I hate to say it, but a lot of these elections, these local county elections matter bigger than what most
Matters.
people think.
Get out and vote, everybody.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
Yeah,
matters.
Well, Sauce, I mean,
it does.
I wish you the luck there on April 7th,
I'll
guys.
need
Get
it.
out
I'm
there.
gonna have to do
Yeah.
I, I'm gonna have to do a follow-up.
Yeah, you're
Either
gonna
like
have
say,
to
hey,
let
this
us know. Yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
I'm
we'll
sure
know if you got
us,
in or not because they'll. I'm sure the local news media teams over there will put out like a nice little graphic of you and everything, and all the elected board supervisors and the local
well,
level and the state level and all that other stuff. Yeah.
hopefully, I mean, hopefully that does happen, but it's I
But it
can't
would be nice
keep.
if you can come on to give us like what you're planning on doing. Yeah, yeah. As
Well, it'd
elected
be
board supervisor. Yeah.
and that's the thing is that it'd be great, but I also need to think realistically, and the
Yeah.
uphill battles I'm against,
You
and that
gotta you gotta
I
be
feel like
willing to take an L if it does happen, and move
yep,
forward. But don't think that. Think positive, So
and think of 2028. If I don't get in this time, 2028, here I come.
yeah, there you go.
So,
Guys,
all right, guys, well, I have to go
yeah,
to the
thank
post
you very
office. I
much.
want to say thank you so much, guys, for allowing me to come on. Remember, don't forget to go out and vote on April 7th. Clearly write in Soslan Temanson, Soslan Temanson, on your ballot that says for District 5 County Board Supervisor. And then also circle in the box. And so once you have that, that is one vote for me. And I want to say thank you so much for an opportunity. And again, if I do get elected, I'm not only asking for your vote, but I want you to also hold me accountable because after all, you elected me to represent you.
Mm,
Thank you for giving me the platform to come on for the day.
appreciate it, Sauce. Thanks very much. Guys, you're gonna want to vote for Soslan Temanson on April 7th. He's got a strong battle, Tom. Any closing remarks, buddy, before we depart here?
Only
I
that
mean,
if I'm sorry I can't vote for him. If I lived there, I'd be voting
yeah.
for him.
Oh, he'd have my vote in a heartbeat. Yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
out on.
I
I'd
mean,
be out pushing his name. I'd be out there helping him, man.
well, there would be it's too late. We can't even establish part-time residency there, to
No,
even vote. I mean, it's just. But I mean, he would have my vote. I mean, the guy's a young man. He's got a lot of good policy
great
and strong
vision.
message. Just get a little bit more fierce with his words. That's all. A little small suggestion, but
Well, you got to
he's got.
remember. I mean, Reagan. It took Reagan 3 times to finally get elected.
Yeah, yeah. They looked at him. Oh, this fucking Hollywood actor. We don't want nothing of him.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
I
But
like
anyway,
South.
guys. Yeah, I like him too. Guys, get out there on April 7th and vote for Soslan
3
Temanson.
weeks. You got 3 weeks, people.
Only 3 weeks. Yes. Yeah. 3 weeks. 3 weeks, guys. Till next time. Take it easy.
This had been a Truth Productions media episode. Thank you for listening.